Okay, this video is going to cover the first half of part one, chapter one of college groundwork for college reading. Um, I will make a second video which will cover the second part of this. I recommend that you get your book, open it up to part one, chapter one, and what we'll be covering today is just the first part of this chapter in a nutshell. So the name of this chapter is Consonants. And what we'll be talking about today is we'll be talking about the 21 different consonants and the sounds of those consonants. And specifically, there's 6 consonants that actually have more than one sound. So if we go ahead and get started, we want to talk a little bit about phonics. And phonics really is talking about how you break a word into its part called syllables and how you pronounce it. Now, you may be wondering, well, why are we studying this in a reading book? Well, one of the things that will help you be a more fluent and faster reader is knowing how the words, how the letters, the sounds that they make. Because if you have this information in your head, you won't need to slow down as much to read actual words. And the faster you can actually read the words, that's going to improve your comprehension if you're not spending a lot of time figuring out how each word sounds. So that's why we're spending time on this. So in English, there's 26 letters in the alphabet. And out of those 26, 21 of them are consonants. Now, if you need a definition for what a consonant is, basically a consonant is not a vowel. The vowels, there's mainly 5 of them, A, E, I, O, and U, and pretty much everything else is a consonant. If you want a more complicated definition, a consonant is a sound that's made when there's some blockage of air from the teeth or the tongue or the lips as it goes out of the mouth. But you don't need to know that. So out of those 21 consonants, we have 15 of them that have only one sound. So we have B as in bed, F as in fan, H as in hog, J as in jab, K as in kiss, L as in lump, M as in mud, N as in neck, P as in pat, R as in rub, T as in tub, V as in vine, W as in web, Y as in yell, and Z as in zoom. But there's 6 of them that have more than one sound. So let's look at each one of these individually. So we have the C, and we have 2 sounds for C. We have a soft sound, which is like an S, as in cell, city, and circus. And we have a hard sound as in K, as in can, actor, and circus. Now, if we look at these words, we can see a pattern. We see that the soft sound of C is at the beginning of a word, at the beginning of beginning of the word. We also look at what letters follow it, and we say that it's followed by E and I in these 2 examples. The other one that it can be followed by is Y. So for example, we have the word cycle as in bicycle, right? Cycle that starts with a C and then a Y. So when a C is followed by an E, an I, or a Y, it's a S sound. Now, that means that every other time when a C is not followed by an E, an I, or a Y, it's going to be a hard K sound. So we see can when the C is followed by A, so it's a hard K sound. Actor, followed by a T, and circus, it's followed by U. Now, the same pattern actually exists for G. And G has 2 sounds. It has a soft sound like a J. So we have Jim, angel, magic. Okay, and we have a hard sound, which is a G sound, as in game, guess, and pig. So again, so just like C, we see that when G is followed by a Y, or an E or an I, it's the soft sound, so J, like a J. And when it's followed by all the other sounds, when it's followed by anything else, it's a hard sound. So moving on, so here we have D, okay? So most of the time, D sounds like a D, right? So date, side, and bleed. But it can also sometimes be a J sound. So in educate and schedule and soldier. You'll see that this happens when it's in the middle of the word, and it's between two vowel sounds. So we have and then educate. So we have and u. In schedule, you have and u. In soldier, you have ol, which is sort of a weird sound, but anyway, ol, and then so that when you see it in the middle of these two vowel sounds, it's going to be a J sound. Then we have Q. Now, pretty much all of the time in English, the Q is followed by a U, and the sound of a Q is normally pronounced like qu. So we have here in quilt, queen, and require. But there are some times where it has a K sound. Now, the most common times it have a K sound is this with this QUE at the end of a word. So antique, not antique, I can't even say it, or plaque. So we have this QUE at the end of words. But it's also this sound in mosquito. Okay, and this is because this is actually a word that's taken from Spanish. In the middle of words, in some words, and also at the end of words, this QUE at the end of words. And then we have the letter S, which has actually a number of sounds. So most of the time, it sounds like we think of S, or like we think of a soft C. So soup, unsafe, or bus. But sometimes it sounds like a Z, like nose, reason, and hers. So the reason for this is we can see this when it is. I actually forget what the reason is. We'll go over this one again in class. I don't have my book with me, but we'll review that one in class. All right, and so here's our last one here. We have X. So we have three different sounds for X. We have the KS sound, which is the most common. So when we have fox, next, and Mexico, okay, it sounds like a K and an S. But when we have EX followed by a vowel, okay, and this is normally at the beginning of the word, it actually sounds like gz. So it sort of sounds like eggs, right? So we have exact, examine, and exist, okay, when we have these at the beginning of the word followed by a vowel. And the last sound for X is a Z sound, and this is a much more rare, but this is when we have something we have the X at the beginning of the word. So we have Xerox. There's also another word, xylophone, where it actually has a Z sound. All right. So we'll review all of these and do some of the practice activities in class. Bring any questions that you do have to class. All right. Take care. Bye.